The Caribbean in the late 17th and early 18th centuries was a crossroads of wealth and conflict. Spanish galleons loaded with silver sailed predictable routes, prime targets for daring attackers. European empires, Spain, England, France, and the Netherlands, fought for control, creating chaos and lawlessness. The region's geography, with its countless islands and hidden coves, gave pirates endless places to hide and launch raids. Shallow waters favored nimble pirate ships, letting them ambush merchants and vanish before navies could respond. Colonial governments were weak, underfunded, and often corrupt. Some even supported pirates for a share of the loot. Pirate havens like Port Royal and the Bahamas thrived, becoming bustling centers of illicit trade. Vast treasure moved through a region torn by imperial rivalry, while authorities struggled to maintain order. The result? A perfect storm for piracy. Thousands of sailors abandoned legitimate trade for a short, violent, but potentially lucrative life under the Black Flag. The Golden Age of Piracy was about to begin, forever changing the history of the high seas. The stage was set for desperate men to seize their chance. Becoming a pirate was rarely a rash decision. It was often a last resort. Ordinary sailors endured brutal conditions, rotten food, rampant disease, and cruel discipline. Pay was low, often withheld, leaving many stranded and in debt. After wars ended, thousands of skilled sailors were left jobless and desperate. Faced with poverty or a return to harsh ships, many saw piracy as a path to survival and freedom. Pirate ships offered democracy. Crews elected their captains, set their own rules, and shared plunder equally. Even the injured received compensation, a radical contrast to the rigid hierarchies of the Navy. Piracy was a rebellion against oppression, promising liberty and a chance to strike back at those who exploited them. For many, it was a brief shot at self-determination, even if it often ended in violence or the hangman's noose. The promise of freedom and equality drew thousands to the pirate life. For a fleeting moment, they lived as free men, shaping their own destinies. The Golden Age of Piracy was fueled by this powerful motivation. Desperation and hope turned sailors into outlaws. The Golden Age of Piracy, from the 1650s to the 1730s, unfolded in three waves. First came the buccaneering period. English, French, and Dutch adventurers, or buccaneers, raided Spanish colonies with semi-official backing. Figures like Henry Morgan blurred the line between privateer and pirate, launching large-scale attacks on Spanish strongholds. Next was the pirate round, when pirates left the Caribbean for the Indian Ocean, targeting rich Mughal and East India Company ships. Legends like Henry Every struck it rich, operating from remote bases like Madagascar. The final, most iconic phase followed the War of the Spanish Succession. Thousands of unemployed sailors flooded the Caribbean, giving rise to infamous names like Blackbeard, Calico Jack, and Black Bart Roberts. Nassau in the Bahamas became the Pirate Republic, a lawless hub for this new breed of pirate. Their reign was short but intense, provoking a massive crackdown by the British Navy. In just a few decades, the legends of piracy were forged in blood and gold. The era's explosive legacy endures to this day. Pirate ships were floating democracies, a stark contrast to the harsh discipline of navy or merchant vessels. Crews created and signed their own articles, electing captains and quartermasters who could be removed by vote. Major decisions, where to sail, whom to attack, were settled democratically. The quartermaster enforced discipline and settled disputes, ensuring fairness and preventing tyranny. Pirates were partners, not just crew, united by shared risk and reward. Yet life was harsh. Storms, disease, and injury were constant threats. Food was monotonous and luxuries were rare. Pirates preferred intimidation, raising the Jolly Roger to terrify targets into surrender. If forced to fight, they used speed and surprise, disabling ships before boarding in brutal close combat. The goal: capture ships and cargo intact, minimizing risk and maximizing profit. Pirate democracy offered freedom, but life at sea was always perilous. The promise of equality came at a high price. Pirate crews were among the most diverse communities of their time. Men from across Europe, Africa, and the Americas served side by side, united by skill, not nationality. Many black pirates were escaped slaves or free sailors seeking equality denied elsewhere. On pirate ships, they could vote, bear arms, and share in the plunder, rights rare on land. Some, like Black Caesar, even became leaders. Women like Bonny and Mary Read defied gender roles, fighting alongside men as equals. This diversity was a source of strength, forging a unique culture of rebellion and equality. Pirate articles emphasized democracy and unity, creating a radical alternative to the oppressive societies they fled. For a brief time, pirate ships were islands of freedom in a world of hierarchy. The era's most notorious pirates became legends. Blackbeard, or Edward Teach, mastered psychological warfare. His smoke-wreathed visage struck terror before a shot was fired. His reign was brief but unforgettable. Bartholomew Black Bart Roberts captured over 400 ships, enforcing strict discipline and a flamboyant style. Calico Jack is remembered for his iconic flag and his partnership with Bonny and Mary Read, not for his piratical prowess. Sir Henry Morgan, a privateer-turned-pirate, led daring raids with official backing, even sacking Panama City before being knighted. These captains blurred the lines between outlaw and state agent, shaping the myth and reality of piracy. Their exploits and their fates defined the Golden Age. Their stories still echo across the seas. Nassau on New Providence Island became the pirate capital of the Caribbean. Its harbor was perfect for pirate sloops, but too shallow for Navy warships. After the War of the Spanish Succession, hundreds of pirates flocked to Nassau, creating a lawless pirate republic. Captains like Hornigold, Bellamy, and Blackbeard formed a powerful alliance, ruling the island by their own codes. Nassau thrived as a hub of stolen goods, ship repairs, and wild revelry, a direct challenge to imperial authority. British merchants and governors demanded action as piracy threatened Atlantic trade. The British response, royal pardons for those who surrendered, and a naval crackdown for those who resisted. In 1718, Governor Woodes Rogers arrived with warships, ending the pirate republic. Many pirates accepted pardons, others fled or were hunted down. Rogers restored order, dismantling the pirate infrastructure. The fall of Nassau marked the beginning of the end for Caribbean piracy. The outlaw haven was gone, and the Golden Age was fading fast. Nassau's fall was the turning point, but piracy's decline had many causes. The British Navy, now focused on the Caribbean, hunted pirates relentlessly with faster ships. Famous captains like Blackbeard and Roberts were killed in dramatic battles. New laws and special courts made prosecution swift and deadly. Public hangings sent a clear message. Royal pardons fractured pirate unity, turning former allies into enemies. Economic growth and better protected trade made piracy less profitable. Convoys and naval escorts made merchant ships harder targets. By the late 1720s, piracy was no longer worth the risk. The era of pirate fleets and outlaw republics was over. The Golden Age of Piracy ended in defeat and legend. The pirate legend endures, shaped by novels and Hollywood, but the truth was far harsher. Real pirates rarely buried treasure. They spent it fast and lived dangerously. The famous pirate accent is pure invention, and their lives were anything but carefree. Disease, violence, and the threat of death were constant companions. Yet, their radical experiment in democracy and equality was real. Pirate ships were among the most progressive communities of their time. This legacy is often forgotten amid the myths. The pirates' enduring appeal lies in the dream of freedom and rebellion. Their true story is a testament to the human spirit's quest for self-determination.